G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action. I am back with the first part of a two-part death metal vinyl update. 6 records to take a look at here, so let's get into it. This episode of Explosive Action is brought to you by Blacksound Records. Blacksound Records is a record store located in Melbourne, Australia, specialising in underground metal, punk, noise, experimental and everything in between. Blacksound offers fast and free delivery options across Australia, New Zealand and the world. Explosive Action viewers can get 5% off their first order using the code EXPLOSIVE05 at checkout. A reminder also that this video went to channel members early, and you can join the channel for 99 cents a month. Press the link down below. And this first record we're going to take a look at, I bought from Blacksound Records down in Melbourne a little while ago now, just at the end of last year actually, but finally getting around to showing it. I picked up Eternal with Cryptic Lust. I've been after this one for ages. It kind of went out of print. Well, the first pressing sold very fast, and I missed out on it. And the store was really good to get in more copies of it. Let me know ahead of time. They're coming today. Get ready to press add to cart. Bam. And off we went. Eternal Cryptic Lust. Very, very good quality meat and potatoes death metal. Got a bit of hype during 2024, which is why I think the first press sold out pretty well. Yeah, this reissue came out. Same label, I think, Carbonized Records. They got it pretty quick to market, and yeah, picked it up. What can you say about Eternal? Really, they are quite intentionally playing that 1990s early era of death metal. No frills, no real flourish to this. It's death, leprosy, it's grave into the grave. The UK scene, I think, represented with some like early Benediction, Cancer, that kind of stuff. It really is very much this old school death metal. The Tim Voss album that I was going on about last year. It's not exactly similar to this, but this is Eternal's definitely going in that same kind of like well trodden. We're doing this intentionally kind of approach. Has a really big full sound to it. The crack of the snare, really good. Has like it's a snare crack that has this lengthy reverb that comes after it. Sounds fantastic. The bass guitar, it's definitely more of a case in this of being felt rather than heard. Like it doesn't, it plays along with the rhythm guitar, I guess, as some of that doesn't really follow, musicality of guitars. I guess that's what's really going on here. You can't sort of discern different bass notes that are separate to the guitar notes, but it's got dual rhythm and lead guitars, very much straight out of the Death School there. For a bit of a modern reference, I hear a little bit of Death Vocation. They're not even super modern anymore, but I definitely hear Death Vocation going on here. But Eternal, they swim in like 1991, those murky waters, and they just love being there. It's aided by the vocals, I think, sitting somewhere between Chuck and Van Drunen. This cover artwork, the band logo, back of it, I mean, the whole thing, it's just 90s death metal, but done now. But what's really good about this is it doesn't feel like a cut and paste job to me. There are a lot of bands that do this kind of thing. People really like Gatecreeper. I've never quite understood that one too much myself. But if you're going to do something that's a bit, definitely feeling old school, I think I prefer how Eternal are doing it and how bands like Tim Voss do it. Take a look at some of the tracks here. The second track on here, is it the second track? The Guide Thy Hand, third track, because we've got an intro up here. It's like a minute long sort of spooky keyboards thing. So third track officially. That one's got a very delicious midsection in it, fully head-banging riffs in that. Actually feels a little bit Sepultura Arise in the middle bit there, like, when the Cavaliers hit sort of their chuggy breakdown kind of things. Got that in that track. That was nice. Tortured Chapel, the next track after that. I think that was the lead single. I hear some Dismember for sure going on in that one. Particularly when the lead guitar comes in, it gets all tremolo and that nasty. I don't know if this is HM2 or not, but it definitely, they're approaching that kind of sound. Spectral Immolation, the next track after that one, opens with a pretty close descendant of a Morbid Angel riff, probably something off like Domination. I think you get the picture. You know, Eternal have all their influences and their logo and their artwork, everything very obviously on their sleeves and on their record sleeve. It's just a very well embellished long sleeve T-shirt full of logos of Eternal, and it's probably got that skull on it. And it's definitely going to have carbonized logos down the left arm. You know what I'm talking about? That's what Eternal is. They're that death metal. Big blue cover, shirt there, the big white logo. You can already see it. It's what it's going to sound like. It's what it's going to look like. And yeah, like I said, it's got a spooky intro on side A. Side B's also got another little spooky intro there. So you're getting the picture here of what you get with Eternal. It's just solid meat and potatoes, death metal, a couple of carrots, a few peas. It's not gonna like come with some kind of red wine juice or anything like that. Nice black. Um, might come with a garlic bread on the side. Getting hungry over here. There's the inner. Mine got a little bit beat up. I don't know why. Just did a bit. Yep, got some spiky sword thing going on there. The band looking incredibly metal. There's the lyrics. Nice artwork there. Some good stuff. Yeah, Eternal Cryptic Lust. It's just an enjoyable, straightforward death metal album. 2024. Gonna give it a lot more spins for sure. Check it out. Next up, we have Immortal Fate with Beautiful, which is such a great name for this album because ironically it is a pretty beautiful sounding thing. This is such a chaotic mix of Infesta, Incantation, and just blazing grindcore that I'd somehow never checked out before. Now, until this started getting a little bit of murmurs a couple of months ago, people in a couple of chats I'm in, some were getting really excited about this thing getting a reissue, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Then I saw it hit shelves at another record shop in Melbourne called The Searchers. I saw it there and went, all right, I better give this thing a listen. Gave it a quick listen online, and just I heard the Infesta in the mix straight away, and I absolutely love that album from them. And then the speed, absolute ferocity, combining with it, yeah, it was coming home with me. So, definition of an underground gem, and I'll explain a little bit of the history as I've worked out. This was recorded in 1993, released in 94 on cassette only as some kind of advanced copy. That's it. Then it was shelved. Don't know if they didn't get a record deal or what happened there, but it was shelved until the year 2000 when 625 Thrash Course, the name of the label, released it on LP only. 20 years after that, there was another reissue, this time on CD, and now in 2025, the start of the year, we have a wider release here again through 625 Thrashcore. I really don't understand what happened, like what the shelving of this thing was due to in the 90s. Real crying shame because I mean it's great to have this sort of under little underground gem that only a handful of people seem to really know about, but I actually think it's bigger than that. I think this is one of those people have been clamoring for proper copies of this, and if you had an early one in 2000, you held on to the damn thing. So whatever the case is for you and your history on this band, for me, this was a brand new underground gem. And it really should be heralded alongside like beneath the columns of Abandoned Gods and To the Depths in Degradation. Like next to those two albums, we should have Beautiful. Damn straight for sure. The first track, let's flip to the back. It looks very like punk when you look at the back there, right? Very punk. Even with all these logos lined up, the other labels involved. First track, very much just a direct assault, pure grindcore for the most part, and then it just drops in with this dominating, incredibly heavy groove with the low tune guitars. The production is just the whole thing. Like it's a 33 RPM record, and it just feels like you're playing it at sort of like 25. Like it's just it will have the fast grind bits, but then when it chugs, it's like god damn, this is molasses. This is heavy and brutal stuff. Then the second track, which one? So yeah, first one we looked at was I. Then it's now Healer. Flips around the approach. We have more of a slower, chunkier death metal for the most part, and then it comes in with a rapid blasting to spice it up. Other tracks across this thing, there's some punishingly slow death doom, particularly as side A tracks on. Oh yeah, no, that's side one, side two. The first track is Healer. There you go. I just can't read. Um, yeah, but when the side progresses along, we start getting more of the Death Doom, and damn, it almost pushes into Funeral Doom a few times, like just drawn out disembowelment kind of riffs thrown in there. It doesn't. It's not like this is a full Funeral Doom, Death Doom kind of band. It's just honestly, this is just an underground death metal gem that has a lot of grindcore and a fair amount of doom. Um, and I was wondering where the hell should I file this. I'm more comfortable, I think, in filing this with my grindcore stuff. It just feels like it should go there. But anyway, digressing. The side B opener, which is what does it say here? Intro slash voodoo. So voodoo has some drawn out guitar riffs. It's got like typewriter double bass, like tick, 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 like oh, it's just fast enough to be like it's just fast enough to be proper double bass work, but it's not ridiculously fast. It's just above this threshold of being really like I don't know how I'm explaining it, but you listen to it and the drumming on this overall is sort of what stands out to me, and I hear all the Infesta when I'm listening to the drums. But yeah, the way that the double bass is done, it's beautiful. We'll go with that. Um, yeah, it really is a mix of all extremes. Like I said, I think I'll file it with my grind, but the dark, murky sound of Infesta is really what mixes in with this, and it's really what stands out. Um, they don't. Infesta doesn't hit the speed of Immortal Fate frequently. They did sometimes, but you know, I'm more confident with saying Infesta is squarely in the death metal shelf, and I can see this one going into, we'll call it Death Grinder. How about that? Vocally, kind of reminds me of Frank Mullen, but of like the Human Waste EP era. Probably very cupped mic kind of thing. It's all done and dusted in 28 minutes, and is a mighty fine unearthing from 1993 that I didn't know about, and I reckon a lot of you will know about this, and I'm the one that should have. I don't know why I've got a second in here in there. I'm the one that has missed some kind of memo, but I'm very thrilled to have it. We get some hold out here of a couple of lyrics, and we get really cool flyers from the last of the black metal bats. What? Last of the black metal bats. That's an interesting statement. The things that they've played at. Look at all the bands. I mean, they play with Sacred Reich, and then over here they play with Immolation. On this gig, they've got Autopsy and Plutocracy. What a mix! Sadist down there, obviously some Napalm Death with Godflesh. So look, I feel this is probably one that a lot of people did know and did go and see, but and that's pretty interesting with all of those lineups, and they only had a promotional tape. So I really don't know what's going on or what happened, but I'm glad it's out now. Again, Black LP. There we go. And yeah, like I said, it's on 625 Thrashcore, but it's sort of in collaboration with what is it? I can't read that. Damn it. Well, Nuclear Arse Records is one of the other ones on here. Rescued from Life Records. Rescued from Life Records, 625 Thrashcore, and Nuclear Arse. Nuclear Arse. Must have eaten some beans or something. But anyway, fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Make sure you pick up a copy of this thing. I've said Infesta 500 times, but if you like Infesta and you like Funebraum from the earlier stuff, and you just like the speed involved, on top of that as well, yeah, Immortal Fate, beautiful. Well, I think we're enough time into this video that I can get away with showing this cover, and it's not like you can really look at it and go, what the hell is actually going on here? And it's all kind of blurry anyway, but we're talking about Pissgrave with Malignant Worthlessness, back after 6 years from their sophomore album, Posthumous Humiliation. Very barbaric Philadelphian four-piece, returning here with Malignant Worthlessness. I kind of like it's Pissgrave, right? So if you've heard the previous two albums, I think Suicide Euphoria was the first one. if you know those two albums, you know what you're getting here, right? So I was pretty confident just blind buying this because I really dug those ones. But yeah, I mean, they got the name and the cover artwork to, you think you're going to go and file this with your gore grind with lymphatic phlegm and pathologist, but no, you'd be wrong there. They play a ferocious, um, chaotic, evil brand of death metal. That's a mix of, well, Infesta again, but like revenge and the bonkers kitchen sink stuff from Portal. Yeah, so it frequently sounds like it's trying to be a bestial like Black Death band or even war metal or whatever with speed, razor sharp, fast riffs, and you like particularly the way it starts. You're like, yeah, put it next to Revenge. Um, and the band does feature ex members of the bestial band Abhomen, um, but there's a lot more going on there. I mean, I suppose you could say the foundation is in the bestial Black Death, but there's more going on here. But the real standout for Pissgrave, if you haven't heard them, is the vocals. They are processed in a very unique way. It sounds like Donald Duck is a 50-a-day smoker. Um, yeah, and like growling down the CB radio on a truck or something like that. It's or he's shrieking in a bar when somebody spilled his pint. Like it's unique sounding vocals, and you're either going to love them or you're not. And I, for one, love the vocals on Pissgrave. Nothing much else sounds like them in this department. I couldn't think of anything that really sounds like this. It does make you, again, want to put it in sort of the gore grind section because that's where you're more likely to get the processed and pitch shifted vocals and things. But no, it really doesn't belong there. It's all in the appearance with them, plus the vocals. Really, this is more um, bullet belts and chains and yeah, with a lot of that Portal weirdness going on. They're pretty unique band, really, when it comes down to it. A lot of chunky, heavy as balls groove with some. It's kind of buried production for the double bass work, but there's plenty of double bass. It is a little bit buried in the mix. It's not a pretty sounding album. You'd be shocked. Can I show the back? Yes, I can. Just the guys looking very metal. Got a is that Slaughter Lord? Got a Slaughter Lord shirt over there, like Australia represent. Absolutely menacing. Look at his face. Outstanding. That's a metal as hell face. They're all doing the yeah. They've all got the lunchbox going on there. That's what they're doing there. That's outstanding. Um, the previous album, if you loved it as much as I did, as I said, Posthumous Humiliation. If you really dug that one, and that album cover I can't show, that's for sure. Um, you're going to like this one just as much, and it might even surpass your expectations as it did for me. Like I said, I think they've within their realms they've kind of progressed a bit. There's a bit more variation going on there. A bit more stop and like go into some groove kind of things, or go off and do a little bit to the side. It's not all bestial Black Death with some pitch shifted gore grind vocals. There's a bit of things going on here. So yeah, I really appreciate that. 9 tracks, 31 minutes, and this is a bit of a theme today. We have a lot of short albums. Um, for me, this does actually surpass Posthumous Humiliation. Just that little bit more variety and a bit more focus, I think. And you can't just call this, straight up boring war metal. Like this isn't just like Conqueror album number 8 or whatever. Not in the slightest. It'll appeal to people that really dig Titan Blood, people like me. But there's more going on with this. So yeah, check it out. It's Pissgrave. Great name, absolutely stellar name. Um, take a look in here. We get the inner. I suppose some shops would have released it like that, inside the plastic sleeves, so not to be too scary. But like honestly, I look at that and I just see it looks maggots and the sun. And I know it's not, but if YouTube asks, it's just it's a meatloaf with some coconut on it, and that's the reflection from the oven door. If anybody asks at YouTube, yeah, we'll go with that. Got the inner there. Can I show that bit? Yeah, yeah. It becomes more obvious if I show that, so I won't show that one. But yeah, we'll show that, and we will show the black LP siding, and yeah, Pissgrave, Malignant Worthlessness. For me, it was absolutely worth the 6 year wait. Kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't realize there was a new one coming. Then it was there. Got the promo, listened to it, went, yeah, they've not. Pissgrave haven't started to release Bon Jovi music here. That's for sure. It's great. It's bestial, but it's a bit more. Check it out. Malignant, Worthlessness, Pissgrave. Next up, which is absolutely one of my favorites of the year. I loved their demo, 2019's Immense Thickening Vomit. What a great name for a demo. And I didn't know what was happening with the band because that's a while ago now, but we have Mephitic Corpse finally with their full length Californian 3-piece band. If Mortician had a real drummer and played gore grind, it might sound like Mephitic Corpse. These guitars are tuned down to drop Z. It's absolutely filthy with all the pinch harmonics of a 1999 United Guttural band. It's just brilliant. Monotone, unintelligible vocals, but the groove and the swagger that this thing has is unparalleled. Combined with like the really, really thick production and the snappy, and I've really got to say the really snappy snare on this. Not pingy, but it's very tight sounding snare. It takes me right back to like 98, 99, 2000, Deaden, the first Skinless album, but just more assaultive with just more blasts and that overwhelming horror of Mortician. Or really, Immortal Fate, who we were just talking about. You will absolutely hear some of that in this. The guitars and the vocals, and this incredibly gory cover artwork, thanks to Matt Rose, of another extremely rotten productions gore grind band, Necropsy Odor. Obvious similarities there. Drummer Eric Leiwald, I think is how you say his name. He came from Death Doom band Disgusted Geist, who I'm not familiar, but yeah, guitars and vocals and this gory cover from Matt Rose. So he's kind of the brainchild, I say, of the band. But the drumming is absolutely perfect on this. It is exactly what it needs to be. Peppery triplets. Oh, I love that when there's just these little peppery triplets, but when the whole production is ugly sounding, it's such a wonderful mix for me when I hear that. And yeah, that 1999 snare is so good. Look at I could just rave about this thing. I love listening to it. I've listened to the digital promo probably about a dozen times. Played the LP through about 4 times now. My favorite track on here is the side A closer. Intrusive thoughts lead to impatient butchering. It's a crushing palm muted groove with some squeals in it, like again 1999. Absolutely delicious. And the side B track, Teething on Clots, delicious, has this answering machine recording in it of a guy that says he's from Immortal Fate, and he's trying to hook somebody up with a t-shirt, and it's so weird. I don't know why it's there or how they got it, or if it's some infamous recording in underground metal, or if he was trying to sell something to Mephitic Corpse. I have no idea. It's so weird. But it's like listening to those horror samples from Confessions of a Serial Killer on Hemdale. They just work. So I'm going with it. This thing is barely 29 minutes long, out on ERP and Headsplit. And yeah, like I said, we have a bit of a theme for short albums in this update, that's fine. It is the perfect length for this kind of palm muted, bludgeoning death grind. I absolutely love this album. You are going to see it in the end of the year list. I knew that the first time I listened to it. It's everything I was hoping. I mean, it's so much better than the demo. The demo was great, but there we go. There's some lyrics and some gory stuff. Really thick card here. Got some horrible surgery thing going on there. There's blood enough. I could probably show it. Band members down there. Looks like it's coming out of a dead infection photo shoot. We got in here a patch, like fabric patch, to put on your battle jacket. Got a sticker that I really like to stick somewhere, but I don't know. I like using my stickers, as you can tell. Usually I do that when I've got a couple of them. I've only got one of that, and I don't know. Maybe I will. There's a really cool poster because it's different. Like it looks like it's straight out of art gallery. You can see the thick paint on there. And over here, for there, we've got really nice inner showing thrash collage and a bunch of flyers. So yeah, Mephitic Corpse. Damn, great band name. Great album. And yeah, it's exactly the kind of stuff I really like enjoying. Really like listening to. Yeah, sickness attracts sickness. Mephitic Corpse. You're gonna see it at the end of the year list. Absolutely give this one a go. Yeah, check it out. Next up, we have a split LP release. This one's from Chaotian and Deiquisitor. This is fantastic. 2 years after their excellent debut, full-length Effigies of Obsolescence, Chaotian are back with 3 new tracks on this split. They open with Divine Suffering, which sounds like a Morbid Angel song title. Absolute Windmills immediately. Just, yep, straight into the pit. Immense headbanging, dive bombing, dark death metal. Just glory on that one. A tighter production than the full length, I think. I really enjoy that album, but the one thing was that it did all feel a little bit loose. This has tightened everything right up, so that's an improvement for me. It's got clicky bass drums, but they're not silly like Mayhem 2001 clicky bass drums. They're light and precise sounding. They're exactly what they sound like they need to be, so it's good. Yeah, and Divine Suffering is quite possibly the band's greatest song. It's got everything you need. Chaotian has obviously been spending a bit of time since their demos. They did the 2 demos, which you can get on the comp LP, which is really good. I recommend it. Then their album, really good, recommend it. But they've really obviously been spending time just practicing or improving on songwriting and everything because it's just gone up a level. And yeah, Divine Suffering on here could be the Chaotian track. Great stuff. Everything you want from modern Danish death metal. The next 2, though, are no slouches. We have Their Discordant Flesh. That one's a bit more churning and menacing sounding, pulling from some immolation and incantation influences. And the last track, Weltering in Gore. It's half the length the other tracks. They were all 6 minutes something. This is sort of 3.5. Has a bit of a hastened pace because of it, so it's kind of faster. Never hits blasty or anything like that, but it's just a faster pace. And it feels like the faster end of an Infestor track. I'm bringing up all the old band names today, aren't I? The other side of this, we've got is Deiquisitor. I'll show the back. Deiquisitor bring 4 tracks here, and despite what Metal Archives currently says, the band has not broken up. I did panicky kind of Instagram message the band. I'm like, is this true? You guys broken up? I missed a memo, and they're like, no, someone's just defaced the page, and it's a pain to get it fixed. I've submitted a fix, but I have no idea how long that takes. So if you see Deiquisitor on Metal Archive saying they're broken up, they are not. Yeah, 4 tracks here. And I still maintain that Deiquisitor are sort of the unsung heroes of the Danish dark death metal scene. Hyperdontia, Undergang, Frenelith, those bands get the sort of the hype, like the brand new Killtown, death metal, all that kind of stuff. And then quietly you have Deiquisitor just churning them out. Very similar to Drawn and Quartered, they just kept churning them out. And there's a lot of similarities between the band's sounds as well, just coincidentally. So, yeah, Deiquisitor exists somewhere between Drawn and Quartered and Dead Congregation, and then a bunch of sort of Danish. There's definitely some Undergang going on in there, but yeah, they're way more in that Dead Congregation style. The tracks here do not change their template. I think that's what I really like about them. They set up exactly what they're going to do from their first EP and album. That's what they've been doing ever since. Evil, direct attacks of death metal. Snarl, mostly intelligible vocals. Actually reminds me of Australian band Misery, which is probably just coincidental, but a touch of the Damon Robinson in those vocals. Just a touch in those tones. The snare dominating the mix this time. Absolutely cracking along. The last of the 4 tracks, To Be Human, it would be an instrumental except for there's a recording of some kind of weird lecture, I think, overlaid on the top. I don't really know what's going on there. It's a real gloomy, negative look at humanity. You listen to it's somebody basically just giving you 3 minutes about why humanity sucks, and well, why not? It's definitely good fodder for a death metal album. So, yeah, great artwork here by Skadvalda, who does all kinds of wonderful artwork. And yeah, this one is out on Night Shroud Records. Highly recommend picking it up. I got it through ERP. It's the Black LP, the Deiquisitor side, and Chaotian side. Great stuff. Pretty heavy packaging here, heavy sleeve, big heavy card. Chapter thing here, Chaotian. We got yep, lyrics and stuff there from the band, the bands, and then the Deiquisitor on the back. So yeah, great stuff. Um, yeah, don't skip this one. I mean, if you're a fan of either band or you're a fan of just Danish death metal, it's a good place to start. It's a good place to continue. I know some people don't like picking up splits. I recommend that you do. It's really good. Chaotian and Deiquisitor. I don't know if it's actually got a name, if that's just what it's called. Chaotian Deiquisitor split. So we'll just go with that. Really, really good stuff. Check it out. And the last one for this update is the second full length from this really good UK band. Following up their fantastic Dreams of Dysphoria in 2002, we have Vacuous with In His Blood. Now, I want to get a couple things out of the way because they were on my mind before the album dropped, but as soon as I saw the cover, yes, the band has replaced their awesome logo with a font. Yes, the band has moved from the Underground Gems, we'll have to say, basically, label MSUO, to Relapse Records. And it is a very relapsey looking cover artwork. Very, if it just went down there as well, it looked like a typo negative cover. And in an interview when I was reading up about the album, the vocalist Joseph Chen was making statements like the band not wanting to repeat themselves and getting away with adding some post-punk and goth elements. And you could hear the eyes rolling in the back of my head. I'm like, oh God, have we lost another one? No, we have not. And I emphatically say this. I am thrilled to say that this album really, really works and is probably everything that the band set out to achieve. And importantly for fans of Dreams of Dysphoria or the demo, Catasabus, I think is what that EP was called, you're going to like this. It is definitely a progression, but at its core, this is just death metal. They got better distribution with Relapse. Might be a bit sharper in tone and less ugly and putrid. And I guess having a text font logo is easier for new people to find. I don't know. Blood Incantation didn't have to change to a font, did they? Anyway, this is this is great. But what the hell is that cover? Well, okay, it looks bloody corner of a room or something with some graffiti. It says sex there. I don't know what's going on. But it doesn't matter. Vacuous's brand of death metal fits in nicely with fellow UK band Slime Lord. Often thick and doomy, but still quite crisp, and that's the Relapse touch, I'd say. But with a dense sort of crushing production to it. But everything is heard very nicely. It's very well mixed. Atmosphere is added by some sort of undistorted guitar, clean guitar moments with lots of reverb on them. There's a lot of rolling double bass work in the tracks, deep vocals that borderline get into that sort of pained, shrieky, dry Van Drunen. I don't want to say that it sounds like like Mulder do. It doesn't sound like Asphyx, but that pain, it's coming from the throat, comes through at times in here. There's lots of chuggy, palm muted riffs, big drawn out, thick, heavy chords, dark, dissonant leads reminding me of Jade. It's kind of everything death metal. There's a dead guy in a corner. Tracks like Flesh Parade that end the side A. That's just total OSDM with D beat, groovy swagger. It's just straight up death metal. Side B, though, I reckon side B is the strongest side. Opens with Public Humiliation, goes on with a bit of a musical journey towards the end with some tasteful but pretty mournful sounding guitars. And then we have the track Contraband, and I'm humming it in my head right now. This is the standout track, and I mean, because it actually stands out as being very different to the rest, and aligns with Joseph's statement about getting away with things. When I first heard the track, what I heard was a death metal Rammstein. That's exactly what I heard. And I still stand by that. It's very rocking, very straightforward, kind of stripped back, super, super catchy track. It's in my head right now. Take your sort of average rhythmic Rammstein song that has a heavy riff, something like Benzene off the Rosenrot album. Yeah, I'm a fan of some Rammstein. you got like Till's vocals going over a passage that's more synth and drums, like the guitars aren't there. And then they add the guitars in, you have a big heavy riff thing. Then there's the powerful sing along chorus, very Ramstein. Then repeat the verse, drop the guitars out again, just back to the synth and the drums to get you forward. Then do the chorus again, same lines. It's very verse, chorus. Then add a change up, and in the case of Vacuous, it's blast beats, just blast all the way through it. The song is just like 3 minutes 10 or something. It's just over and done with, super quick. It would make an ideal video clip. They've done Relapse has got a YouTube video up there for like a, I don't know, a lyric video or something, but it would make an actual really good video clip. And is absolutely a gentle introduction to the band. Or you know, this is one of those things. This is a smart track. You're on Relapse Records. You're getting a bit bigger. You've got a track like this that might hook in a few people that are usually on the sidelines. It's a smart track, and I think it's actually an incredibly good one. It's just a fun, catchy death metal track with just a more basic, straightforward Rammstein sounding riff, and drum beat. Like it's just a straight bang, 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 bang kind of, Marshall kind of track. So yeah, that's great. But then it's followed by definitely one of the more complex tracks on the album, called Immersion. So if the straightforward nature of Contraband didn't perhaps grab you, then this one will. It's all over the map. It ends with some drumming chaos, absolute chaos. Got some spoken word movie sample or something over the top. That track is all over the place. It's great. The final track, No Longer Human. That one has got a bit of Neurosis going on there, a bit of feedback, and sort of that weird Neurosis brand of kind of doom or whatever it is they were doing, psychedelic kind of doomy stuff. There's a bit of that going on there. But then a bunch of ugly death doom riffs, more double bass work coming back into it, fading out with feedback, and then screams and a real sorrowful plucking guitar. And then the album's over, and it's like 31 and a half minutes. Again, short albums, this update, no issues with that. But man, I really dug this. When I first listened to the promo, I noticed it was a bit different, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't quite sold. It just took it took a second listen, really, just about second listen. But I was sold immediately on Contraband because it just stood out. I'm like, I can hum this. This is in the shower, kind of like shampooing your head, and sort of like just going Contraband. That's, yeah. It's a really, really good album. It's a good place to start too. If you don't know Vacuous, then you may as well just start here. It's a good one. You will find their previous album a bit more traditional, MSUO, heavy, thick, nasty British UK stuff. And this one is just expanding the horizons a little bit. It's not as scary as it may say, like, ooh, we've got goth and post-punk. I wouldn't really say I hear those particular things in there, at least in isolation. Probably blended well or something, but yeah. Anyway, it's just more streamlined. It's punchier, a little bit more creative, but also more digestible. I guess that's what we get with this Vacuous album, and it's really great. And yeah, again, wouldn't be surprised if you see this on the end of year list. I know we're only in April, but man, one of those years again. There's some cool artwork, and there in front of your usual tomb, 5-piece, 2 guitars. There's some lyrics, incredibly easy to read in the same font. So yeah, and the LP is actually worth showing. There's a few variants, and I went because, I mean, fuck it, it matches the cover. Actually nailed it, I think. Red with a bit of yellow in it. Yeah, well, same as the cover. So as weird or whatever is going on with that cover, the LP matches. So I'm happy. It looks good, sounds good. That it's over and done with incredibly quick. I transported the pipe sticker here. The Relapse Records debut from Vacuous, a harrowing journey of crushing death metal from the UK. And this is the Pool of Blood edition. Blood. There you go. Vacuous, In His Blood. Definitely worth checking out if you were a previous fan, and definitely worth checking out if you're a new fan. So that's it. That's the 6 records I'm showing in this part 1 of probably 2 update. There's more behind me we're going to get to. The next one's going to have a nice, tasty early bird release in there, which I'm very, very excited to show. And a few other really great titles as well. Big thanks to Blacksound Records in Melbourne for sponsoring this video. First time I've had a sponsor in that kind of way. Definitely check them out. I've been buying from them since they opened. Run by one of the dudes from Alters, so it's not just a shop front by some random guy. This is death metal dude selling death metal as well as other stuff. So yeah, definitely check out Blacksound Records. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do consider joining the channel. 99 cents a month. Feel free. Helps support the channel and you get early bird access. Check out this guy. Check out this guy. And I'll see you next time.